welcome to the boardroom once again. I'm delighted to have you all here for this important discussion. I must say you guys are looking very wonderful in your apparel.
Thank you.
So this is what we're going to do. So if you hear your name, you just say here, so that we can.
For what purpose?
It's just a formality I had to go through.
And you have to mention register.
This is not a register, Prof. It's just for us to make sure that we are all here.
Oh, but you know us all here, so
Yeah,
you could
so,
so
Mention.
This is for the documents, please. Dr. Kumasa.
Present.
Thank you. Professor Asatama.
Your present.
Mr. Ignatius.
Ignatius Romanus, thank you.
Ignatius Romanus.
Yeah.
And then Honorable General Intatia.
Highly represented. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So my name is Justice Obibinia Samoa. I must say the President is very pleased with our contribution, and it's actually coming up very well with the implementations.
So
And,
when are we meeting he himself?
I think that we are trying to put together the meeting. He has a couple of things to attend to, so I'm
People
sure.
who gather here to advise you. Try one day.
Yes,
Let me meet them.
he also wants to see us to have a meeting with us. So I'm sure by the end of this month we should be able to meet the President himself, and then whatever we had to tell him, we'll tell him. But these are very important topics that I would want us to discuss. Now, the first one on our list is about the youth unemployment. Youth unemployment. This is a very a big problem in the nation. It has become a very huge cross on the head of the government. Now, the government wants us to discuss how we can ensure that our youth gets ready job right after school. How can we make jobs available for our youth right after school? Because we have a lot of them coming out of school. But the question is, are the jobs there for them? If it is there, what is preventing them from getting the job? So this is something that the President will want us to discuss with our expert opinions. So I think I'll set the ball rolling by giving the first slot to Dr. Kumasa.
Thank you very much for making me the first. I would like to say that youth unemployment is a canker that is eating up the fabric of this nation. But here is my quick advice to the President. Make our senior, even our junior high schools through to the senior high schools, make sure that you will increase the vocational and technical skills. Vocational skills, technical skills. Let people enter into the school and leave the school learning a skill already.
Okay, so then how do we increase?
Now I'm coming.
Vocational?
Now, if I'm leaving school and I can make shoes, if I'm leaving school and I can make soup, if I'm leaving school and I can cook, I can be a good chef. If I'm leaving school and I can do any of these skills, when I leave, finally. Now, what the government has to do is once people are done with senior high school, and maybe the person cannot even get into the uni, when they're done with senior high school, the government now should make available capital, small capital, maybe 1,000, maybe 2,000 cities, and the best student in every senior high school, maybe 5 best students in this school. So across board, we have like 1,000 best skilled students. The government should invest in them. Not for them to just go and do it and come back. No.
But Doc, don't you think that all this you are saying is already in place?
Who
like
says?
the NBSSI.
How many schools are doing vocational
What I
skills?
mean is that the funds, the NBSSI have funds.
You are
available
giving fund to people who know nothing. Who are you funding? The person tells you, I want to do shoemaking. The one who is actually doing the shoemaking is sitting somewhere in the village.
But again, they are vocational schools, and don't you also think that it is the choice of our youth as to the profession they want to do that is causing all this problem? Because they are vocational schools.
Do you know that somebody got to know that he had a skill in acting when he was in SSS? Someone also got to know that he had a skill in cooking when he was in GHS. So if you don't do, and that was because of vocational, that was because of technical, that was because of those things. So if you don't do it, somebody even got to know he was a better actor See, there's one very great comedian in the country now called General Tatia. He got to know he could act in level 200, University of Ghana, School of Performing Arts. So wait, if he had not entered into that field, he wouldn't have even known that he had a talent. You understand what I'm saying? So there are a lot of people who have talents and skills in them that can give them jobs in future who are stuck because of non-availability of these things like technical and vocational skills.
But
so the government must increase
okay,
that.
so what I'm trying to say is that when you take, say, for our secondary schools, we have the actors clubs and all those things.
Yes.
So those areas, is it not an area that people can
Those
also...
places are unofficial. People can choose to join or not.
Okay.
People normally join those places are people who think they have the talent, they want to do it. I'm talking about the layman who does not even know he has the talent.
Okay.
But if it is something you are learning, you understand? If it's something, when I was in school, I had a guy who was in visual arts class. He didn't know anything about visual arts, but by the time we finished, as I'm talking to you now, he's one of the greatest artists in the US of A.
Oh.
Exactly.
His name?
He's called Ibrahim.
It's a lie.
He's called, you can even check him on
It's a
social
lie.
media. He's called Ibrahim.
Is it Ibrahim, the one who has been...
Mahama, he's called Mahama Ibrahim.
Oh, no, he has
You
been-
can check him on social
When
media.
I was in Berlin, I saw one of his works.
He's been using sax.
Yeah.
Thank you, God bless you.
Yes,
And I also
yes,
saw his
yes,
works in
yes.
Amsterdam.
I know,
One
I
of
know
the-
Ibrahim.
one of the-
I
So,
He's a good
yes,
guy.
but he didn't
Okay.
know.
That's a good point you have
So the
raised.
government should do that.
So you see, sometimes when people have not seen someone and they mention their name, they should take their time.
No, what you're talking
and
about, a cake people.
It's
when people are
okay.
a
You
cake,
hold it.
a
Hold
cake,
it.
and they are talking. A cake.
Dog.
No, because I'm a lefty, and this, and there's so many things. Have you seen me getting provoked on this show before?
Doc.
God
I think
help
you
my
made a
temper.
very good point.
God help my temper.
I can attest of Ibrahim. I have met him.
Thank you
and,
very much.
Was an
Thank you very
eye-opener
much.
when I met him.
Thank you very
General
much.
Tatia,
Me too.
can
Me
you...
too. I saw one or two things from him.
Okay.
He's good.
Okay, all right. So, General, how can we make jobs or employment available for our youth?
Thank you, Obibini. I always
First of all, let me ask you this question. If we say a youth, what's your definition of a youth? If we say youth.
youth, when we say youth, we are looking at a group of people who can run without breathing from their nose and ears.
Oh.
So when you get to an age and you run and so you have passed your youthful age.
Okay, so
Somebody
it doesn't
a prof
matter your
like this, he has
age.
passed his youthful
No,
age.
Prof, he doesn't run.
Yeah. No, even if he doesn't,
Now he can't run.
his forehead alone will show you that he has passed his youthful age and he can't compete with the youth.
Okay.
So,
So what will you consider yourself?
I would say that I'm a youth because I can run, I can go. I've been going for joggings and all that every morning, so I'm a youth.
All right. So now, what's
Our
your
elders
point?
say that the pawpaw tree that is sweet, that will have a stick under it. But fry a deno and about that here. If like
This is not
yeah,
a pawpaw tree.
a pawpaw tree,
It's a fruit. The pawpaw
Mr.
is a
Ignatius.
fruit.
please
Mr.
tell him
Ignatius.
to
Your time will be due,
not to
please.
interrupt me. I beg you.
All right.
No, but what does it mean to say
Please,
pawpaw tree?
your time is not.
It's fruit.
If the
Can you
pawpaw
correct
tree
it,
is not
please?
sweet,
Say pawpaw
Please
fruit.
hold it.
Can you correct it?
I am the chair.
Can you tell him to correct
Thank
it?
you.
thank you,
Go ahead.
thank you very much, Obibini, for stepping in.
Yeah.
If the pawpaw tree is
Fruit.
not nice and the children are passing, you will hear if they are safeguarded, no tree under it. Then also we say
A tree under a pawpaw tree.
Can you imagine?
Can you allow him?
Okay, no, I just want to be sure.
General.
they say all the fingers you see like this are not equal. And said, why am I saying this? We are carving a roots in this country that if we don't take care and retract and come back to the original level where we left, there will be a canker. And this canker will eat the generations that will come. And I want us to solve this thing. That is why I am happy that I am here today. Let me quickly go on to the reason why I think that, first of all, we have to encourage entrepreneurship. Now, when we say encourage entrepreneurship, we have to encourage the youth to come out with their own business. Now, recently, we've encouraged youth to come out with, and one lady that I went to her Instagram page selling what? Is selling pen tops. To go and use for what? If they say they are encouraging entrepreneurship, use your mind. Let's teach the youth to be creative. If you are selling pen top, who you use pen top for what? He said they will use it for alikoto. You know alikoto, when you were growing up, they used he said he's encouraging the bringing back alikoto. So he's selling pentops for what? Again, let's do something I call reassessing the value of unpaid internship. Now, if the youth are in school and they are allowed to embark on internship, to do internship, let's encourage the companies that they do the internship, with, to give them something, a little remuneration to encourage the youth to start something.
I like that point. So how do we do that?
That the government has to do what I call collaboration with the various companies in the country, so that we have all the companies accepting the youth. Now, you meet somebody even looking for a place to do internship, they don't get.
But you see, sometimes the issue, I just want to come in, sometimes the issue has to do with the competency of the youth. Because for me, for example, if I have a company and I really would want productivity, it means that I need somebody with sharp brains to be able to give me the productivity that I want. Don't you think that we are also not equipping the youth in terms of knowledge to be able to
I'll come there, but let me correct you and say that there's no one who is in this world that is incompetent.
Okay.
Everybody is competent. If you say somebody is incompetent, then it means you are depriving the person from reaching a target or a goal. But everybody is competent. At least if the person comes to the workplace and doesn't do anything at all, he can sit down. He can sit down to occupy space in the company. Let me go on to the next one. Let's do what I call proper funding of tertiary institutions. Now,
you have 30 seconds.
Thank you very much. When you go to a tertiary institution, you go to a science laboratory, and you don't see sodium chloroquine. You don't see anything related to the science that they are teaching them. And then they just mention that sodium hydroxide.
Do you realize I'm a doctor? Do you realize I'm a doctor?
We know you're a doctor.
So you should be careful with the elements you're trying to
thank
mention.
you. So
let's take the children to be able to get the things that they are learning. Let them touch it. No child has ever touched acid before. Why?
Okay. So practical teaching.
Practical Recently, they said they did a quiz and some students qualified from Prempeh, also they went to represent. They were first, very brilliant students. But when they went and put ammonium down, they put chloroquine and herbicide. They can't compare. They can't compare. So why do we allow these children to learn the practical things but no theory? And then quickly, let me do this one and making sure that people go on retirement early. Now we have companies.
How does that work?
Oh, Prof, I'm not relating to you, please, with all due respect.
The people, am I not the people?
But you, when you go to
the people,
Prof, hold
I'm
it.
talking about
Prof, hold it.
youth employment. If
you have grown-ups, Prof, like this,
make your point. Make your point in the next 3 seconds.
Yes, we need to encourage more practical learning than theory. You understand that most of the children they don't know the things that they've learned. Recently, a school won a quiz and they were taken to outside. They don't know the difference between sodium hydrochloroquine and carbonate and all that. So I encourage that we should encourage more theory than practicals. Then also,
are you what? So now what was your point? Is it more practical than theory or more theory than practical? I think you are contradicting yourself here.
Oh, sorry. Then I'm trying to say that we should encourage more theory. Let the children understand what they are learning in school, so that they can practice it more than this thing. Then quickly, let me also add that we need to encourage early retirement.
oh yeah, fair.
Why?
Prof, be mindful of your words. Please, we are not children seated here.
Now who is the children?
No,
Prof,
but you can't just...
Prof,
No, but he is right. No, Mr. Chairman.
But don't insult.
Mr. Chairman.
You can't.
He is not insulting. That submission he brought
Excuse
out
me, you
was
can't-
rather
you can't
uncalled for.
teach me my job.
You don't have the
No,
platform.
but I
sorry,
mean,
you can't
what's
teach me
wrong
my
with
job.
what he said?
You can't teach me my job.
What's wrong with what he said?
Do I have the platform? Please.
Please land.
Yes.
You
Anything that you do, it doesn't make me afraid. You can be old like Methuselah.
Okay,
If your
all
time is
right.
up, I
Thank
have to
you
retire.
very
Come and
much.
take over.
Thank you very much.
What do you mean?
Did you old like Methuselah? Didn't you hear that? Didn't you hear that?
I have said time and again that I
Text
sit
it.
here in the capacity of the president. One of the things I want us to know, let's address ourselves with our names. I don't want any other thing but our names. Do I make myself clear? Thank you. Prof, can you make a submission on this topic that we've been
here.
discussing? I'm sorry. For the sake of this meeting, can you retract that statement you made?
Obini, this is not fair to me. What must I retract this?
For my sake, please.
For you to
Okay,
For my
I
sake.
retract my statement, but still, Methuselah.
Prof, can we have your submission on this, the youth unemployment? How do we curb this problem, and how do we also make work available for our youth when they finish school?
No, Prof shouldn't get emotional. You see, when it gets emotional, it really hurts me.
No, you
Prof-
should get emotional.
Prof
This
shouldn't.
is, we are all here.
What is
All right, okay,
what kind of
all right.
ex-military man is this?
All right, I
You
skip.
think this is a war front?
I skip him. Ignatius, let's go.
Thank you very much. You see, in psychology, right, there is something we call an astronomical surgeon,
Which means
well, I mean, if I explain, you won't understand. So let's just go ahead. I just want to say what this guy is saying here doesn't really make sense.
If you are old, you are old. We can't say that you are a young man. You are not a small boy sitting down. So if I say Methuselah,
everybody knows.
You are old, you are old. Obini, I've not insulted anybody. You are my grandfather's age. And I'm telling you,
Can I have my time?
Saying it. I don't say.
Can I have my time?
Prof,
You say I'm old. Some
Prof,
people even call me
Prof,
ancestor.
Prof,
I don't
I'm
say
sorry.
anything.
I'm sorry.
I retracted that word some
But you are
months ago.
telling me that me I'm older than Methuselah. Methuselah.
I told Prof,
I'm sorry.
Prof, what's the issue? Is it the Methuselah or the fact that you're old?
Doc, please.
I just want to ask.
Please.
Because he didn't get agitated like the
please.
person said ancestor.
Please. I'm the only
You
one
know-
to address this issue.
It's quite unfortunate.
Let me hear you.
But if what he's saying is what you understand, you are actually saying it's good, and a whole doctor like he is also saying, then why are we here? You see, it is said that even if the elderly man doesn't have anything, he has kamche. Opinion ni hekra, or wabache. That is why the elderly is still maintaining society. Because you need the elderly experience and wisdom. Then what you are saying,
General,
will you
please,
keep quiet
please.
for me to talk?
Did I say they should can't kill him? I just refer to him as his
General,
No, you are saying
General,
we should,
General, please,
if you are saying they should
please.
resign,
I don't have
then
enough
you are trying
time.
to tell us the president
So
is
go
not
ahead
fit
with
for
your
office.
point. So
I'm
now,
sorry, Obini, I'm
yes.
sorry.
So the
yes.
president who brought him here to this seat, he's seated on, must resign.
Let me have your 10 now.
So, youth unemployment in this country. What the president needs to do is to create the jobs. He promised to build factories before he was elected into this office. Now, where are the factories? If we give the children the skills in school, secondary school, junior high, and all that, and they finish and there are no jobs, where do they go?
So, Prof, how does the president create the job?
Build it. Build it. If this whole place is a factory, say a tomato processing company, who are going to work here? Is it not the youth? Will you call me to come and work here? No, it's the youth.
You say all this, when we say you are grown, then you come and fight.
You see,
So
you create
build
the
the
job.
factories. There were already existing factories that are dead. You can resuscitate them. They just need some small renovations and some other managerial.
Like the SPPC, Super Paper products.
When was the last time you used rose toilet roll? One of the best.
what the fault? Out to chi, hey, papa.
You only say Edding when you have never used cement paper.
I get you.
We need rose toilet roll, you know. They are all. What do you need for tissue? It's just this rubbish here and there. We can always recycle all those things into this.
Great points, Doc.
Bags,
sorry.
food bags for village people. If you will use it in the cities, these children, they go to school with rubber bag. If you put your pen inside, by the time you get to school, pen in him, okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prof.
If Bronya, nobody brings your mother sack of rice,
When school reopens, you don't get any bag to go to school. So we can always recycle this rubber in the odor and all that. And then, so we need to build the factories.
Okay, thank you very much. That's a great point. We'll move on to the next topic on the table for us to discuss. Okay, so moving to the next topic on the table. Some years back, we could boast of boxers like Azuma Nelson, Ike Bazooka Korte, DK Poison, and the likes.
Please,
now
bring DK Poison first.
DK Poison,
Yes.
Azuma Nelson, and Ike Bazooka Korte. Now, in our present state, we can't boast of any boxer, which is of worry to the president. Now, the president would want us to find what the problem is, and then how we can get back into our old state. Why is it that now we can't boast of any boxer like we used to, and how can we get back to our old state? So this is what we are discussing now, and I would want Ignatius to start with this discussion.
I'm not.
You have 2 minutes.
I don't really need that much to actually talk, because it looks like every time I come with my keys, you people don't really need it. You know, the boxing industry in Ghana, yes, it's actually degraded because of the fact that we've not made boxing lucrative. Boxing hasn't been packaged well, and one of the key factors is the fact that we don't do proper search. We don't do proper scouting. It's actually being tagged to just a particular group of people. It's only assumed
How can
that
you do scouting in boxing?
Please hold it.
it's only assumed that if you're not a Gan, you can't box.
Okay.
So probably there could be an Ashanti or a Fanti or even a Notna.
Great point here. So then how do we scout? How do we cast our net wide?
You see, there are two types of visions. There's long vision and short vision. So the people who are going to do the scouting, we must look at them. Do they have short sight or long sight? Then we give them a pinhole camera. See, geared with one eye like that. And they just let the person throw the hand. When the thing comes to the camera and the hand is big, it tells you that this person is a boxer. There are people who are natural boxers. We are not using them. Yeah, you understand? Like you go to the Zongo community.
How effective is this scouting method that you?
Yes, because have you heard of the name Mike Tyson?
Yes.
It is said that the fist of Mike Tyson weighs just like a 50 kg cement bag.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
You don't,
That
you
is
see,
so-
you
that-
don't
that-
read.
It will
Scientifically
come. It will
proven.
come
You don't
true.
read. All you
No,
know
wait,
is
come.
killing
Hey,
people and
hey,
throwing
please,
bombs
please,
and
please,
carrying
please,
guns around.
Please, go ahead. Go
A
ahead. You
whole
have 30
military
seconds.
man, you don't even know how to clock a gun.
Ignatius, 30 seconds. Let's land.
So I have come up with 4 sustainable keys
And what are they, please?
of effective scouting.
Okay.
Now, these 4 strategic sustainable keys can take us as
Strategic
far
and
as...
sustainability.
One.
You see, Mr. Chairman.
Let's go ahead. Give us your 4.
Now, these 4 sustainable keys can last us over 10 years. So when we actually go according to it, it will help us
So one.
get the best.
Mention the keys.
One.
Mention the keys.
Why is he interrupting me?
Please go ahead. Ignore him, please.
So 4 sustainable keys for effective scouting. You know, there's one thing I want to say before
There's
I
one
get
thing
to
I want to say. Hold it. Doc, hold. Yeah. There's one thing I want to say. Doc,
Yeah.
can we move on? Can we give us your point?
Sorry for me being on the phone. I need to send some drugs to some
That's
people in
fine.
the US.
That's
of A
fine. So
for
your
them to
point,
get it.
please.
Okay, quickly. See, boxing has an attitude. You see, it comes with an attitude, and the food you eat. These are the 2 things.
Attitude and the food we eat.
You eat.
Okay.
Listen, the current crop of people who are trying to do boxing, somebody can eat 6 balls of keke, so much carbohydrate, and then you will just garnish it and tell you it's a dessert with mashed cake, 2 balls. After eating 6 balls, he will do mashed cake 2 and tell you it is for just to calm me down, calm my nerves down. And so the carbohydrate is so much that they become too heavy that they can't even throw their hand, so they become slower. So if you have anybody who is a little faster in throwing the hand and moving the fist, before the person realizes our boxers are down.
Okay.
That is one. And the attitude is, you need an attitude to be able to stay on more protein and less carbohydrates. I'm being scientific here. So, and because we are living in a society where carbohydrates supersedes our proteins. You have somebody eating banku this size of my laptop and just this size of meat. And he will tell you that it will take me through the whole day. You are killing yourself. And so that is, so our people who want to box are not able to eat well. The second thing that you must understand is the names. See, even I quoted that his name sounds good. He had bazooka in the name. His punches came with, and that alone could scare you off. We had Azuma Nelson, Azuma. See, even the recent boxer who was moving around calling himself Bukum Banku, and he thought that his name was scary. The day he met Bastille, he went down.
Okay, so you are making very too. You are making. You are.
No, Bastille is a boxer.
Prof, hold it. You are making very two important points here. Food they eat and the names. So yes. A lot more carbohydrate. They should reduce the carbohydrate.
A lot. They should reduce it.
Okay. So what percentage? What are the percentage?
It will be best if you do 75. If you do 75 protein and 25 carbo.
But you know we have about 4 or 5 nutrients in a diet.
If I'm making your food 100%.
Okay.
Let carbohydrate be 20% and let the 80% go to the rest.
Okay, all right.
But we are in a country where carbohydrate is 70% and 30% for the rest. That is wrong.
Okay, yeah. All right. Thank you very much. General.
Yeah, thank you, Bibini. They say funtum funafun denchem funafun. They have one stomach. Why is it that when they eat, they have one head, their head is like this? It just juxtaposed, but they have one stomach. Why is that when they eat, they fight? They always forget that their food will go into one stomach. Quickly, let me bring to you what I call a movement that we have to introduce in our schools to bring out best boxers. I call something blow by blow. Mm-hmm. Let's identify the students, those in the class, like they sit at the back, they cause trouble, like you see that these people, they have potentials in them. And then we'll do a blow. When they see them, they bring them, they line them up, and then we'll get one teacher and give them a blow in their, like a blow. So when you do it, you can't be a boxer. The pain.
So we identify them early by the process of blow by blow. Okay.
So we blow them from childhood time, and then if they blow you and you don't do it means you can be a boxer. They blow you, you can endure pain, then you can be a good boxer.
Bear in mind that boxing is not all about blowjobs. It's not all about blowjobs.
Who has mentioned blowjobs here?
That's what you just mentioned. Blowjob.
Into the thing.
Blow by blow is
blow. Giving a blow is not a job.
I don't really have time.
So the next point.
The next point is our boxers are mostly angry. Hunger is killing them. Mm-hmm. You see, the pains that they go through in their life, they need better lifestyle.
Like
if you go to the Bukom, like moving them from Bukom to Trazako or somewhere nice.
How does that work?
It works because the atmosphere that you are in generates what you become in future. The elders say, if they born you on a seer, you don't take time to grow. But if they born you under a carpet, you will remain like a carpet.
So they should move them from Bukom to
Trazako or East Legon. So that the pains that they went through in their childhood, they will not see them before.
Okay.
They said, the Israelites that you see today, you shall not see them no more. Why did they say that? The Israelites.
We are a religious person. You cannot lie about it.
We are making a point. We are not arguing.
But he can't say the Israelites.
It's okay. I had to interrupt.
No, but it's in the Exodus. You can't say that.
Yes.
It's the Egyptians you see today. You shall see them again.
So please,
so
please,
Israelites
please.
and Egyptians, are they not neighbors?
Are you serious?
General, please address me.
Okay, thank you.
Address the chair.
And then also,
Mr. Chairman, you give me 5 minutes.
Let me wrap up by giving you an example something that I saw in '93 when we were on the battlefield. One military guy, instead of him throwing bomb and ammunition, he want to cross the line and go and fight our opponents.
Okay.
What kind of training is that?
What kind of training is that? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Prof, what's your take on this whole thing? You've been around for some time. I think you've seen
DK Poison, the first illustrious son of the soil to win international
I know you know
title.
this. Yes. So,
That's
so what's your
75, 76 there?
What about Amonkote?
Yeah.
What about Amonkote?
What title did he win?
Amonkota was an artist. Why can't you just throw that in our eyes?
So
No, Amonkote was with him.
General, please. I am on the floor.
I'm sorry, Bibini.
Prof.
We really appreciate the lives of DK Poison, the Professor, Zuma Nelson, the first sportsman to release a limousine in Ghana.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Have you ever been in any of his boxing
Shows?
bouts?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Azuma carried the nation on his shoulders, and so we all had to support him anyhow we could.
Okay, so
Yes.
then how do we get back to our old state?
Yeah, I think that we still have them. We have the bosses, but we are not giving them the support we gave to Azuma and Ikote and DK Poison.
It's not true.
Because look,
It's not
after Ikote, there came Joshua Clotte. He won titles for us. After Joshua Clotte, there is Isaac Neho. Neho. He has been holding the fort until quite recently. Was Miss
Dogbe, Isaac Dogbe.
Yes, that's Neho.
Neho.
I like that boy.
Okay, so now what's the support? How do we give these people support? Since you say they are there, but it's the
We
support.
have to bring back this. There's something called bring back the love. In Azuma's time, you will not sleep when your father is up in the midnight watching Azuma's fight. They will call all the children, come and sit down, let's watch Azuma. He has to beat Gomez by all means. And in Azuma 2 fighting, knowing that back in Ghana everybody is watching, he is not going to fail.
So that's the kind of support
Yes.
you're talking about.
So let them know that we still love them. Bukum Banku Brahima Kamoko. Africa Mayweather. If we all push him, tell him that true, you are Africa's Mayweather.
But don't you think that
he will be able to stand
don't you
Mayweather?
think that Bukom concentrates on more on the comedy aspect than training or getting into the gym?
He is currently a title holder and not a local champion. He is an international.
So how do we
title
support
holder.
Bukom?
People like you think that he is just doing comedy. And so you like the comedy. You don't support him in his boxing. Now you are poaching him into becoming a presenter, into becoming a comedian. When we have such prospects on this land. Look at what he did to Aite Powers. He mentioned Basti. I was asking him, is Basti a coconut seller? Basti is also a boxer. After that fight, where is he?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Go and bring Basti back.
But what has he done to Basti that you are...
Where after that bout, where is Basti? Basti.
Can you run up, please, Prof?
Now run up by quoting one of the illustrious sons of the land, a very great writer, Mr. Victor Tete. He said, fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Or sting like a bee, fly like a butterfly.
We all know this.
Come on.
So if you go and quote this thing and you say these are the things that we say, and then someone will turn around and say we are insulting.
You see, all we are doing is his opinion.
So if your opinion, you don't have to quote the right people.
I'm doing the records here. So whatever it is, I write it or otherwise.
So you are condoning the fact
you
that
all
he's
have 1
lying.
minute. We have 1 minute to run up, and then we can call it a day.
So let me just run up.
Okay, so you have your 1 minute.
So what I'm saying is, let's bring back the land. Those who are already in the system, let's identify them and push them. When we are having sports programs, invite them, listen to them. We are throwing so much attention onto a certain kind of sports and neglecting the rest. You understand? There have been children who have been representing the country in swimming, in judo, but you don't know. Why? Because we don't pay attention to them. If it's black stars, we all know that, black stars, there are other disciplines that we need to pay attention to.
Thank you very much, Prof. Doc.
So say Neho.
Neho.
That is for Isaac Dogbe.
Yes.
Neho.
I followed him. I know him very
Or
well.
say Bankueba.
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 Or say Efebo Tanshiokwe.
Efebo
Tanshiokwe.
Efebo Tanshiokwe.
Or you can say Ishemokogbe.
Shemokogbe. Doc.
Yes, well, I've already made my submission on this.
Okay, General. 1 minute
I
under
think
1
we have
minute.
the prospects. What we have to do is to encourage the youth and to motivate them to take the boxing serious, because together, when we have great boxers to represent those who were there, we can build our motherland and then we'll get far. So I will end by saying that Nepros el Nepros le letum imat fat netia.
Meaning?
If you step on people to the top, they will also crawl back and step on you and bring you down.
Thank you. Mr. Ignatius, your final words.
Well, I think that the government must look at, having talks with the UN to discuss this whole unemployment.
Can we be in our country and then go and discuss with you?
Oh, General.
No, but sometimes when people are saying
Please, so
things,
let him make his
we
point.
can't sit down about to throw that into our
Let him
eyes.
make his point. Okay?
Unemployment is an acronym.
Wow.
That means United Nations Employment. So we need to go meet the United Nations so that they actually...
So UN employment. Oh.
That is unemployment.
Obibini, are you seriously writing this?
That's per your
Obibini,
understanding.
are you going to write this?
You see...
You are going to
send this to the president?
You are going to send this to the president. You are noting this down.
Really, what are you doing?
Obibini, you are shocking me
I'm
today.
going to note this to the
Obibini, you are writing this.
I am in the seat.
So you are in the seat, so you write this.
I am in the seat.
No, so will you
I
write?
raised.
Answer
Are
the
you
question.
writing
Will
this?
you write
Let us
this?
know. Are you writing?
Yes
so
or
that we'll
no?
get up and go home.
Are you writing this?
Make your
Are you
Oh,
writing?
my
Oh,
goodness. Obibini will
God.
kill us.
You see, it's too deep for the shallow thinkers. Too deep for the
OBBD,
shallow
oh God.
thinkers. So yeah, I have here, which I know I don't have time, so I'll pass that to you. 4 sustainable and developmental keys that when they meet the UN, they can present.
Can you
to
keep
them.
the 4 for us? Gentlemen, I think that we have done a very thorough discussion. I'm so excited about this. But before we leave, I would want to make this announcement. Next week, I will not be available. I have to chair another meeting in Botswana.
So
I'll be
your
away.
motherland's meeting is
It's
not
a Ghanaian.
important.
It's a Ghanaian meeting. I have been sent by the president. So my other colleague will sit in on my behalf, and then when I come. So thank you very much. We'll meet when I come back.
Obibini, I must say I'm highly disappointed for you noting that
thing
United Nations employment. So anything that comes out from people, we will note it and go and discuss with the president.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll see you when I come back.
It's okay. We
Thank
need
you.
to, please.
Prof,
Wow.
Prof, it's not an insult, with all due respect.
You come and tell us that we should resign, and when you have passed your resignation age and you are here, why don't you allow the youth to come and sit in your place?
I'm sorry.
You sit here, you just talk because you've been given the opportunity to talk, and the president will also bring you here to come and sit down.